Okay, I hope you're well. It's been a little bit of a lull with progress for the exploratory mines at the moment because I am back to my day job, back to work. At the end of this month, I got the last week of this month off. And so, basically, I'll be using that time to do some stuff. There is a article, as you can see on the live feed, which is being run from the laptop over here. Just about to see that one. Streaming the music. I know it's little bit repetitive if you're listening to that. There's only so many tracks on that. That will change, particularly when I have that week off, because unlike these socially dysfunctional nutters who make video after video after video of pure garbage and designed to attack other people, I have a day job. There's no way that they have a day job. Nobody, that meme that's gone around the internet. There's no lady going, "Ain't nobody got time for that." And it's kind of like that. Today was a nice day at work. People were customers were cooperative, chatty, and there was a delivery to rip through. I like breaking down delivery, getting rid of some frustration, perhaps, whatever your frustrations might be out there in the general world. You get your scissors and you rip through the cardboard and break it down and price things up. And then put the stock out. If it's full, put it in the storerooms. Hey presto. So an article will be written about the plastic replacements. And I want to briefly hint at how that might go. Just I'll tell you what I've got. So far, it's not published yet. So it's looking at things. We'll post some sources where we got this from as well. It's sciencey stuff about using things, proteins and long chain polymers already existing in nature for plastic replacements, using that. But also, I've written about metamaterials before, where referring to 3D printing technologies. I think that's where it might ultimately be, designing specific technologies that if you're printing at such a nano scale, high resolution in 3D printing, in terms of actual material being printed in 3 dimensions, they've used a very advanced form of 3D printing to 3D print human heart tissue in zero gravity. Believe it or not, that sounds like science fiction. It's actually not, though. It's actually happening, or has happened. I don't know. That's a while ago, actually. So that technology may have evolved quite a bit. So scientists and engineers, designers, all types of professions are shifting their focus to ecologically friendly materials, but at the same time, very synthetic metamaterials in 3D printing could be printed. It'd still be malleable like plastic and interchangeable, but not detrimental to the environment, because if it's designed a specific way, that's the theory anyway, it'd be a specific way in which you can add a stimulus to that material, and it would just undo that material. It would just start breaking down all of a sudden, whatever the stimulus might be, put it in salt water. Ideal, right? Seawater. It just completely unravel, maybe. Or materials you had an electrical current. Anyway, just anything like that. This is where technology is able to program intelligent materials, and there's been a little bit about it on YouTube here and there over the years. You've seen these videos of materials with memory. You put them in a colder environment, and it causes it to shape into a particular shape because it was set that shape in that temperature before you perhaps misshaped it in a different temperature, and it's temperature specific. That's quite amazing stuff, really. I think that's got a huge number of applications, actually, theoretically. It just here and there, of course, theory on paper looks good sometimes, but then when you put things in practice, it doesn't always work too well. Kind of like democracy, right? But I don't know what else would be ideal. I think we need democracy without idiots going, "Oh, that's offensive, you're using that word," because people need not to address the word, but address the context the words are being used in, right? Right, Twitter, you fucking idiots. And Facebook and all these other platforms, they need to be addressing context and the intention of the words used within a particular context. Of course, there are those people who will use particular words, the same words, in offensive context. So how do you police that with millions of memberships? If you've got millions of memberships, the solution would probably be not to be so damn greedy and employ more staff for person-to-person contact. Get rid of the automation, the AI, which is collapsing down, programmed to collapse down particular uses of words. It should, in an ideal world, the AI should be addressing context and successfully. But you see it time and time again, and this is a fundamental problem with people pointing their fingers. I find Greta Thunberg quite offensive for not being the change that she wants to see. And crying about pollution and environment, and getting on a plane to go to somewhere and get in front of a microphone. You're a fucking hypocrite, right? I don't mess around. I say it how I see it, usually. Maybe sometimes how I see it could be wrong. And that's another sign that I don't mess around, because I will admit things could be wrong. But these pathetic people I pointed out, one of them being Jason Smith, and this channel isn't about that fool anyway, but I'll make some videos on him. Their mindset is so... I'm dumbfounded at how reflective Jason is. I put on Twitter about how when he throws shit, it's rubber on one side and sticky on the other side, so it bounces back and sticks to him. I said something like that. It's quite comical, but it's true, because all he does is talk about himself when he's accusing other people. The lack of self-awareness is phenomenal. It really is actually at the level of mind-blowingly phenomenal. And it's caused me to have an interest. I mean, I've always had an interest in the mind. So I went and bought from work today a book. Just take the sticker off because I don't want to reveal who I work for. Price sticker. Psychology today, and I don't know how accurate the book is, but I think it's going through a chronological progress of how psychology today evolved to the point where it is, but I think even psychology might be misused these days, and most psychologists need a psychologist to address their misuse of their profession, because it was put. I don't know if they do. I bet some do. Claim that creativity is a mental illness. That's going way too far. Depends what you're using for your creative aspects. Now, Jason Smith is using creativity as part of a mental illness, definitely. But doesn't mean I'm not trying to have people have some sympathy for him there. What I'm trying to say is he's a mental fuck up via his own doing. It's all his own fault. The projection level is because he just will not. He's so comfortable within his fantasy, like Kyle Curtis is so comfortable within his fantasy of superiority that they end up seemingly believing it, or really convincing themselves that other people believe it, like a majority will believe it. The majority don't believe it. That's the problem. And he still sits there even today with a lack of understanding why he gets opposed. Wow. He doesn't address people who are currently making videos about his idiocy and pulling it apart and telling him. He hasn't mentioned Sean Hufford for quite a while, because Sean will nip things in the bud and say it how it is. I've done some videos. The only thing he said about me is I pointed to my Twitter account claiming that I'm Dead Kennedy in Space girlfriend. Of course, I did have the account set to private then. Why? Well, to look for reactions like that, actually. And then took it off recently. Yes, Jason, you dumb fuckwit. I am Exploratory Minds on Twitter. Spelled with XPLOR because it wouldn't accept the full. It was just one letter out. Again, Twitter just limits even your name. Like, they should have enough server space for another 8 bytes for one extra letter in your name, surely. So you're going to see more things from me during the end of this month, probably, formulating that article. So, apart from the advancements in intelligent materials, metamaterials, I want to read to you some of this, for the different materials I'm looking at. So transforming one of the most abundant resources into something with utility, and sustainability takes a special kind of reworking of nature's materials. This article isn't published yet, but that's what I'm reading to you of what we got on the screen. Stone wool is a naturally occurring rock. Much of it forms after lava cools. This process also forms a steel making product called slag. Again, that's another offensive word if it's used within an offensive context, but it's used in the context of describing a material. This I pointed out in a previous video how that just corrodes actual delivery of information, and people get confused what the hell you're on about, because you keep having to change words. It's ridiculous. These substances can now be melted together and spun into fibres, a little like candy floss. Unlike fiberglass insulation, which is made with recycled glass or foamed plastic, which is often used to block heat loss through attics, stone wool can be engineered to boast unique properties, including fire resilience, acoustic and thermal capabilities, water relevancy, and durability in extreme weather conditions. More importantly, it's not a pollutant to nature's environment. Is pretty much taking something very, although there's a process being made, it's pretty much close to, it's a natural thing, so natural. It's not like plastic. Over the past few years, stone wool has gained traction with eco-consciousness architects and designers as they search for sustainability, building materials that are still cost-effective and aesthetic. So it looks appealing, looks good. A company named Rockwool Group is a leading manufacturer of stone wool insulation, running production facilities in Europe, North America and Asia. They have installed stone wool in commercial and industrial buildings across the globe, including London's O2 Arena and the Hong Kong airport. As wildfires and floods increase in frequency and severity, stone wool may also give homeowners an extra measure of safety in natural disasters. And there's a huge amount more actually information there. I thought I'd give a short video out of something I'm working on as gathering some information there. It's an interesting read what is going on here and there. There's some nonsense on this as well out there with the 3D printing. There's some conspiracy nuts saying, they 3D printed? It's kind of magical material. You gotta watch the sources of information and give receipts to the sources, who said what, why, when and where, what companies and so on, who's involved, when they were involved, particularly when dates are important, because if it's something that's been said and then it's outdated and they discovered it's outdated because they discovered something even better in place of what they were trying to do, or it didn't work or something, or that's important, right? Timeline and dates. Something else that socially dysfunctional netters online just do not seem to be able to keep track of. or understand why that's even important. So yeah, I'm scrolling through it now. I think Jerry's added a bit more at the bottom of that, logged in, and there's some more there too. That I don't know when the article will be actually published, but as you seen in the live music feed, there's text there talking about replacements, and I don't fully understand it all. Some of it is over my head, but it's worthy of sharing. And I think DARPA are involved with metamaterials as well. That's the Defense and Research Defense and Research Projects Agency for the Department of Defense in America, the DoD. Anyway, thank you for watching. You take care, and I hope you're having a great day or night, whatever you're doing. And I look forward to doing another video soon. So I need to stop this now. There we go. Cheers. Bye.